You know, trying day for sure for everybody out there who Kobe affected. I'd be remiss not to say something. You know, I have a quote of Kobe's up in our practice facility about dreams and goals. You know, I first watched him as a high school player, Lower Merion, Marple Newtown. My brother Paul was an assistant at Marple Newtown. And I remember it like it was yesterday. What a talented young man, and just incredible. And he went through some peaks and valleys for sure as a human being, as a player. But it's unfortunate that tragedy puts life in perspective for everybody. What's really, truly important, and obviously faith, family, and friends. Today you wake up with a great reminder. I mean, if you didn't go home last night and hug your kids, well, you should have. And if you haven't, you should today, because that's what I did. Because at any second, it could be gone. It could be gone. So I'll talk to my players about that, about making a positive impact on their teammates, on their community, on this university, in their life when they leave here. I think that's truly important. And what can you learn from Kobe? You learn from a guy who was so determined to be the best and sacrificed a lot. Go ahead, Ben.
You talk a lot about mental conditioning. Is there an advantage when you've played yourself into a situation where not every game is going to make or break your season, not every win or every loss? You're kind of in the thick of an up and down, the good and the bad of a year. Is that different than maybe years past where either you're on maybe a losing streak trying to get the win or something like that? How is that different in terms of getting these guys mentally prepared?
Yeah, you know what? For us and for my approach, it's all about staying present and in the moment. I'm not even trying to bring up years past or losing streaks or anything. I'm saying, guys, we show up, we get better, we compete. There's things that we got to work on, offensive rebounding and fouling. We still got to take care of those two areas. And if we can do that, then you know what? We'll get a little bit better each time. And if we stay focused on that and not, I know what you're saying. You know, we're in the thick of things. That's good. And you know, if you lose one, it's not a big deal. But it is, right? It is. We're trying to win every single day. When we step on I always say we got to win the day, and that's what we got to try to do today. So I don't want to get too far ahead. I don't want to look back. I want to stay right here.
What is your message to Curtis this week?
You know what? I just started thinking about that this morning, man. It's the next game on the schedule. You know, you've been removed from there for years. You've had a place in between. If you went from Indiana to Penn State, I think it might be different. He's really a mature kid. He's not a kid. He's a man now. He's mature. So I think he'll handle himself real well.
Kind of going off of that, MJ has these moments where he will have not done much of anything offensively, and then he proceeds to score 15 points in about 30 seconds. How much of that is in the pocket of knowing that you're going to get that at some point during a game? He's going to have this moment where he hits 3 or 4 shots in a row, it seems like. And how much do you kind of account for that?
You know, that's when our defense is at its best, and when he's in the open floor going out and making plays either for himself or for others. I mean, we definitely have a package for MJ. There's no doubt about it. But when he's getting it going, I think he feels more pressure when I'm calling plays for him. When he's just out there playing and seeing the game unfold in front of him, he becomes a much better, powerful offensive player.
You've had these individual standout kind of performances, whether it's Myron or Isaiah, Curtis. Seth, right? And that have kind of put you over the top in individual games. Do you see that in advance? Are there things that you, or do those just kind of catch you by surprise as they do everybody else?
No. You know, look, God has blessed me with certain gifts that I can read. Right? So I watch body language. I watch practices very closely. I'll go back that night and watch it again, so I'm there live. And I always watch it that night. And you kind of sense who's really engaged and who's dialed in. That's why Seth Lundy goes from 9 to a starter. You know, that's why you knew Brock, a couple of those games coming off the bench, was exactly where he needed to be. Second half the other night at Michigan, I just felt like it was a senior moment. Time for a senior to step up. And he believed it too, and that's why he plays most of the second half. He played great defense. He got offensive rebounds. I think he had I think he had 4 rebounds. And then offensively, he showed you his full arsenal. He made threes. He got to the bucket. He made a great lob to Johnny. I mean, he played really good basketball, and that's what seniors need to do, specifically on the road.
I'm not sure exactly how many, but kind of on a related note, against Michigan, I think you had just 3 guys score more than 8 points or 3 guys score more than 7 points. And then, you've also had games where 6 guys have scored in double figures. And you've also lost games where only 5 guys total score. Like, how do you read into that about your team? Or is that just more of a matchup thing?
It could be matchup, but it also excites me, just hearing you say this. We can get a lot better. I think we can get a lot better. I believe we can get a lot better. We haven't played our best basketball yet. I think Ohio State, we gave you a good glimpse, maybe 30. We haven't played our best basketball yet. I think it's in front of us, where offensively we're sharing the ball and getting to the free throw line and making threes, and then defensively just getting stops and getting rebounds. I think our best basketball is in front of us, because when we do have multiple scores and double figures, we're very difficult to guard. And then that just shows our depth, once again, that we can go 9 and 10 guys.
In conjunction, how much of that is tied to Miles? And does he have to start examining other places to score, other levels, I guess, to score the basketball beyond just threes?
Miles is a great basketball player. He's not just a specialist. He's a high IQ. Now, statistically, I would say he's a specialist because he shoots so many threes, but that's the role that he has on this team right now: search, find threes. Now, he has gotten to the paint. He's shooting very well from the free throw line. He has mixed it up a little bit, and I think he needs to keep doing that just so we see the ball go through the basket. So when he does take those threes, he's feeling much better about when he launches.